Hey guys, welcome back to NextWave News. Today, we're exploring an exciting development in medical research that could change the way scientists understand and eventually treat ALS, also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or Lou Gehrig's disease. ALS is a devastating neurodegenerative condition that slowly robs people of their ability to move, speak, and eventually breathe. It attacks motor neurons, the cells that send signals from the brain and spinal cord to the muscles. Once these neurons start dying off, they don't come back. And currently, there's no cure. That's why understanding the earliest changes in ALS is so critical. The sooner we can catch it in the act, the better our chances of stopping it. Now, scientists at the Wyss Institute at Harvard have taken a major step in that direction by developing a new kind of research tool, one that literally fits in the palm of your hand. Picture a small, clear plastic chip, no bigger than your phone, that simulates how ALS begins to affect the body. But this isn't just a prop or a computer model. It's alive, in a way. It breathes and flows like real tissue. It uses real human cells to recreate the environment of the central nervous system. And it's designed to behave like early-stage ALS. Here's how it works. The chip is divided into two layers. On one side, researchers grow spinal motor neurons derived from human stem cells. On the other side, they place cells that make up the blood-brain barrier, that crucial defense system that controls what can pass between the bloodstream and the brain. Between these two sides is a thin, porous membrane. And just like in a real body, fluids flow through the chip, delivering nutrients and removing waste. This movement is key. It allows cells to grow and mature in a much more natural, dynamic way compared to traditional flat lab dishes. Now, here's where things get really interesting. When scientists placed cells from ALS patients onto this chip, they started to see early warning signs of the disease emerge, signs that are difficult or impossible to detect in standard lab setups. Specifically, they noticed an increase in glutamate signaling and a decrease in GABA receptor activity. If you're not a neuroscientist, here's what that means in plain language. Glutamate excites neurons, while GABA calms them down. In ALS, this balance gets disrupted. The neurons become overly excitable, and this overactivity may eventually lead to their death. That imbalance, too much excitation and not enough inhibition, has long been suspected as an early driver of ALS. But now, with this chip, researchers can watch it play out in real time, in a controlled environment. And because they're using cells derived from actual ALS patients, the model is highly personalized and more reflective of how the disease behaves in real people. But as promising as this chip is, it's not perfect, yet. Right now, it doesn't include all the other cell types involved in ALS, such as glial cells that support neurons or the muscle cells that ultimately stop receiving signals. Also, it doesn't replicate the full progression of the disease. The neurons on the chip don't die off the way they do in a patient's body. That said, the team has plans to expand the system and make it more complex in future versions. One of the biggest advantages of this platform is its potential use in drug testing. Because the chip includes the blood-brain barrier, scientists can study how well experimental drugs actually cross into the brain, a crucial step for any ALS therapy. It also allows researchers to test treatments earlier in the disease process, long before symptoms become severe. Eventually, the team hopes to keep these chips running for up to 100 days, giving them even more time to observe disease progression and drug effects. They're even looking at adding muscle cells to the system, too, so they can track how nerve signals and the loss of those signals impact muscle function over time. So what does all this mean for people affected by ALS? While it's not a cure, this small device could be a powerful new window into the disease. It gives scientists a chance to understand ALS at its earliest stages, before major damage sets in. And with that understanding comes the possibility of earlier detection, better diagnostics, and more effective treatments. It's a clear example of how cutting-edge bioengineering and stem cell science are coming together to create tools that were simply unimaginable a decade ago. The hope is that this little chip could speed up the development of new drugs, reduce the need for animal testing, and give patients and their families something they desperately need: time. So as scientists continue refining this technology, one thing is certain: the future of ALS research is getting smarter, faster, and more human. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like this video, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to NextWave News for more cutting-edge science updates every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.